The Forbidden Code. Introduction. Since the earliest days of civilization, those who sought to understand the deeper nature of reality uncovered a profound truth, one so transformative that it was preserved in symbols, passed down in sacred texts, and woven into the teachings of ancient wisdom traditions. This knowledge reveals that the world is not as rigid as it seems. What appears solid and unchangeable is in fact fluid, shaped by unseen forces, influenced by thought, and responsive to the mind. Great civilizations understood this. The scholars of ancient Egypt, the mystics of the East, and the alchemists of the Renaissance all recognized that the physical world is a reflection of something greater. They studied the subtle energies that influence life, carefully encoding their insights in spiritual texts, architecture, and oral traditions. They recognized that thoughts are not just fleeting mental activity, but currents of energy that interact with the world. They knew that words are more than simple expressions. They are instruments of creation. Across cultures and time, this understanding has surfaced in different forms. In Hindu philosophy, it is known as Maya, the idea that reality is shaped by perception. In Buddhism, it is taught that the mind influences the external world. The Gnostics described life as a dream, one that can be consciously navigated. The Hermetic teachings declared, as above, so below, as within, so without. Different traditions and different languages, but one essential message: our inner state influences our experience of reality. What has long been postulated by old traditions is now being confirmed by modern science. The discovery by quantum physics that particles are not in a fixed state until they are detected raises the possibility that awareness itself influences the material universe. The universe is a dynamic field of possibilities rather than just a collection of fixed items. Yet, for much of history, this knowledge has remained in the hands of a few. It was carefully guarded by scholars, mystics, and seekers, often reserved for those who devoted their lives to its study. And so, most people grew up believing that life simply happens to them, that circumstances are beyond their control, that change is difficult, and that reality is something to be endured rather than shaped. But the truth is far more empowering. Reality does not impose itself upon us. We participate in its unfolding. Every thought we think, every belief we hold, and every word we speak plays a role in shaping our experience. Whether we are aware of it or not, we are constantly influencing the world around us. This audiobook is an invitation to explore this deeper understanding of reality. It is an opportunity to uncover ideas that have been studied for centuries and to apply them in ways that can bring greater clarity, fulfillment, and purpose to your life. In the chapters ahead, you will learn about the hidden power of words and how they shape perception. You will explore the role of energy and frequency in influencing your state of being. You will discover the practices used by mystics, philosophers, and visionaries to align themselves with their highest potential. Most importantly, you will gain practical techniques that can help you cultivate a greater sense of awareness and intention in your daily life. As you begin this journey, take a moment to pause, breathe in, and consider this. What if there is more to reality than what you have been taught? What if the missing piece, the key to creating a more fulfilling life, has been within you all along? And what if, starting today, you could begin to unlock that potential? The journey begins now. Chapter 1. The Word that Shapes Reality. In the beginning was the Word. These are the first words in the Gospel of John, but they are not just religious poetry. They contain one of the most profound and hidden truths about reality. The ancient sages believed that words are not just sounds. They are vibrations, frequencies, and codes that shape existence itself. They are the architects of reality, the invisible forces that give form to the world around us. Think about it. Every civilization that has ever existed has placed an extraordinary emphasis on the power of words. The Egyptians believed that knowing the secret name of something granted control over it. The Hebrews considered the name of God so powerful that it could not be spoken aloud. The Hindus chanted sacred mantras, believing that the very sounds of these words altered the structure of the universe. The Chinese wrote spells in calligraphy, convinced that the shape of a word could direct its power. But what does this mean for you? It means that the words you use every single day are shaping your reality, whether you realize it or not. Most people are unaware of this, speaking without intention, without realizing that every word is like a stone dropped into the ocean of existence, sending ripples across the fabric of time and space. They say, "I am unlucky," and the universe obeys. They say, "I am broke," and reality bends to match that statement. They repeat, "I am not good enough," and their world reflects their belief. But here is the secret. If words have the power to create suffering, they also have the power to create abundance, success, healing, and transformation. The difference is whether you are using them consciously or unconsciously. To understand this, we must go deeper. Imagine a scientist standing before a glass plate covered with sand. He takes a tuning fork and strikes a single note. Suddenly, the sand shifts, arranging itself into a geometric pattern. A single vibration has created form. If he changes the frequency, the pattern changes. Different vibrations create different realities. Now, consider this. If a single sound wave can alter the physical world, what do you think happens when you speak? What do you think happens when you repeat the same words, the same beliefs, the same affirmations over and over again? The same thing is being done by you. With each word you speak, you are influencing reality. This is more than simply a concept. It is an inherent law of life. What traditional wisdom always understood is now being revealed by modern science. Masaru Emoto, a Japanese scientist, proved that words have an impact on the physical world in the 1960s through a series of tests. After exposing water to various spoken words, ideas, and melodies, he froze the water and used a microscope to study the crystals. The outcomes were astounding. When the water was exposed to words like love, gratitude, and peace, it formed beautiful symmetrical patterns, geometric masterpieces resembling snowflakes. But when it was exposed to words like hate, anger, and fear, the crystals became distorted, broken, and chaotic. Now consider this. Your body is made up of over 60% water. If words can affect a simple glass of water, what are they doing to you? What are they doing to the cells in your body, to your energy, to your mind? The answer is clear. Your words are programming you. So the question is, what are you programming yourself with? What words are you using daily? What stories are you telling yourself about who you are, what you are capable of, and what your future holds? This is where everything begins. Words are not just sounds. They are declarations, commands, instructions sent into the field of reality. The ancient Kabbalists understood this and believed that the Hebrew alphabet was not just a writing system but a blueprint for creation itself. The letters were seen as forces of energy, vibrations that carried specific frequencies, capable of influencing the material world. The Bible says, "And God said, 'Let there be light.'" Not God thought, not God hoped, but God said. Creation happens through speech. The word is the tool of manifestation. And here is the most important part. You are no different. You are speaking your life into existence every single day. Whether you realize it or not, you are declaring what is possible for you. Your words are opening doors or closing them. They are calling in opportunities or pushing them away. This is why the words "I am" are the most powerful in any language. Whatever follows them becomes a reality. I am strong. I am successful. I am powerful. Your being's vibrations are altered by these words, bringing you into alignment with the truth you proclaim. However, you are unwittingly creating the walls of your own jail if you utilize them unintentionally, saying things like, "I am tired," "I am unlucky," or "I am not enough." Now, pause. Consider the words you use on a daily basis. Not only what you say aloud, but also what you say to yourself in private, the talks you conduct without speaking. Which reality are you creating? You have the power to alter your words if they have hurt you. You can begin reprogramming your reality immediately. Awareness is the first step. Be mindful of the words you use from now on. Get rid of words that restrict you. Quit bringing defeat into your life. When you hear yourself expressing something unfavorable, Pause and say something positive instead. Say, I am learning rather than I can't. Say, I am in the process of increasing my wealth rather than I am broke. Say, I am open to new opportunities as opposed to I am unlucky. At first it may feel strange. Your old beliefs may resist. But over time, as you begin to rewire your words, you will start to see a shift. Reality will respond. The universe does not distinguish between a joke and a declaration. It does not filter sarcasm from intention. It only obeys. Your words are your greatest tool, your most powerful weapon, your direct connection to the unseen forces shaping this world. Use them wisely, use them consciously, because whether you realize it or not, you are always creating. The only question is, what are you creating? Chapter 2. The Matrix of Vibrations, Understanding the Code of the Universe. Everything is vibration. The chair you are sitting on, the air you are breathing, the phone or device you are holding in your hands right now, all of it is vibrating at specific frequencies. It may seem solid, unchanging, and permanent, but if you could magnify it down to its smallest components, you would see a universe of constant movement. Science has known this for years. Quantum physics tells us that matter, at its most fundamental level, is not solid at all. It is energy, vibrating at different frequencies, taking form based on how it is observed. Everything you see, everything you touch, everything you experience is part of this great matrix of vibrations. However, this is not merely a scientific finding. Old knowledge has been hinting at it for thousands of years. The ancient mystics realized that the universe is a field of energy, sculpted by frequency, rather than a collection of fixed objects. It was known by the Hindus as Nada Brahma, which means the world is sound. The cosmic vibration was mentioned by the Taoists. Temples constructed by the ancient Egyptians were based on harmonic frequencies. The opening line of the Bible is, "And God said, let there be light." Sound is a creator. Sound arranges itself. The sound changes. And here is the key. If everything is vibration, then the frequency you hold determines the reality you experience. Think of a radio. There are thousands of stations broadcasting at once, but you can only hear the one you are tuned into. If you want to hear something different, you don't beg the radio to change, you simply turn the dial. This is how reality works. Your frequency is your dial, and the universe responds not to what you want, not to what you wish for, but to what you are vibrating at. This is why two people can live in the same city and have the same opportunities and the same resources, and yet experience completely different realities. One may attract success, love, and abundance effortlessly, while the other struggles with endless obstacles. The difference is not luck, it is frequency. Your thoughts, your emotions, your words, these are your tuning mechanisms. They determine the frequency you hold and, in turn, the reality you experience. The universe is not punishing or rewarding you. It is simply responding to the signals you are broadcasting. So the question is, what frequency are you tuned into? Every emotion has a frequency. Fear, anger, sadness, these are low vibrations. Love, gratitude, joy, these are high vibrations. When you feel powerless, hopeless, or trapped, you are operating at a frequency that attracts more of the same. But when you shift your vibration, when you align with emotions of love, gratitude, and certainty, your reality begins to change. Dr. David Hawkins, a renowned psychiatrist and researcher, spent years studying the vibrational frequencies of human emotions. He discovered that emotions like shame, guilt, and fear resonate at extremely low frequencies, keeping people stuck in cycles of suffering. But emotions like love, peace, and enlightenment vibrate at much higher frequencies, leading to expanded possibilities, greater intuition, and even physical healing. Think about what this means. If you are constantly complaining, focusing on what's wrong, and living in fear, you are tuning yourself to a lower station, a station where opportunities are scarce, relationships are difficult, and success feels like a distant dream. But if you shift your emotions, if you begin to cultivate gratitude, to speak words of empowerment, to act from a place of trust, then you shift to a higher frequency. At this higher frequency, reality responds differently. You attract different people, different circumstances, and different possibilities. The world you experience is not just happening to you, it is happening through you. This is where the power of sound comes in. Throughout history, civilizations have used sound to alter states of consciousness, to heal the body, and to influence the mind. Tibetan monks chant specific mantras because they understand that sound can shift energy. Shamans use drumming rhythms to enter altered states of perception. Even modern science is now proving what the ancients always knew. Certain frequencies can heal, restore, and expand the mind. The famous solfeggio frequencies, a series of 6 tones used in ancient Gregorian chants, have been shown to have profound effects on the human body and consciousness. The 528 Hz frequency, known as the miracle tone, has been linked to DNA repair and transformation. The 432 Hz frequency is said to be the natural frequency of the universe, bringing harmony and balance. The 639 Hz frequency enhances relationships and communication. Why do these frequencies have such an effect? Because they are in alignment with the natural vibration of the universe. When you listen to them, when you chant them, when you embody them, you bring your energy back into balance. And this is where the real secret lies. If you can change your frequency, you can change your reality. And it starts with awareness. Right now, take a deep breath. Pay attention to your emotions. How are you feeling? What kind of energy are you carrying in this moment? Is it light or heavy, expansive or constricting? Just by becoming aware of your current state, you begin to shift it. The next step is to become intentional. Every thought, every word, every action is a tuning fork. You are either raising or lowering your vibration with everything you do. If you want to change your life, begin by changing your frequency. Instead of starting the day with stress and worry, start it with gratitude. Instead of filling your mind with fear-based news and negativity, fill it with inspiration, knowledge, and love. Instead of reacting to life unconsciously, begin to choose your responses. Your energy is your responsibility. And the more you cultivate high vibrational states, the more you will see your external world shift. This is not magic. It is not wishful thinking. It is physics. Raise your frequency, and your life must follow. Because reality is not something outside of you. It is something you are constantly shaping in every moment, with every thought, every emotion, and every vibration you hold. And now that you know this, the question is, what will you do with it? Chapter 3. The Science of Belief, How Faith Alters Reality. What if I told you that belief is not just an emotion, that faith is not just a religious concept, but a force that shapes the very fabric of reality? Most people misunderstand belief. They think of it as blind hope, as wishful thinking, but true belief is something much deeper. It is certainty. It is an unshakable knowledge that something will happen, even before there is evidence of it. And this certainty has the power to bend reality to your will. Science has already begun to prove this. In the 20th century, a groundbreaking discovery in physics shattered everything we thought we knew about the world. It was called the observer effect. Scientists found that at the quantum level, particles do not take a definite shape until they are observed. Until someone looks at them, they exist in a state of pure potential, waves of probability that could collapse into any reality. Think about what this means. Reality is not solid, it is fluid. It is shaped by expectation, by focus, and by belief. But this is not just happening at the microscopic level. It is happening in your life every day. There is a famous study in psychology called the placebo effect. Scientists have shown that when patients are given a sugar pill, but told it is a powerful drug, their bodies often heal as if they had taken real medicine. Their belief alone creates a physical response. The mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It simply follows the instructions it is given, and belief is the strongest instruction of all. This is why athletes visualize winning before they even step onto the field. It's why successful entrepreneurs see themselves achieving their goals before they have the resources. It's why people who believe they are lucky attract more opportunities, while those who believe they are cursed find obstacles at every turn. Your beliefs are not just ideas, they are blueprints for reality. And here is the truth that changes everything. You are always manifesting what you believe in. The problem is that most people believe in their limitations more than they believe in their power. They believe in struggle more than success, in fear more than possibility. They unknowingly program their subconscious mind to recreate the same patterns over and over again because they are certain that life is hard, or money is difficult to earn, or love never lasts. But the moment you shift what you believe, you shift what you experience. This is where faith comes in. Faith is not passive. It is not hoping something happens someday. Faith is an active force. It is the ability to hold a vision so clearly, so strongly, that reality has no choice but to mold itself around it. Jesus himself said, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." He did not say hope for it. He did not say wait and see. He said believe you have already received it. The ancient mystics knew this. The Sufi masters, the Buddhist monks, the Hindu yogis. Across all spiritual traditions, the message is the same. Reality bends to belief. And yet, most people struggle with faith because they have been conditioned to trust only in what they can see. They think, "I'll believe it when I see it." But reality does not work that way. You do not see something and then believe it. You believe it first, and then it becomes visible. So how do you develop this kind of belief? How do you train your mind to expect miracles rather than fear the worst? It begins with a simple shift. Stop focusing on what is and start focusing on what can be. Right now, you are living according to the results of your past beliefs. The situations around you, the level of success you have, the relationships you experience, all of it is a reflection of what you once believed was possible. But if you change your belief today, your future will not be the same. One of the greatest tools to strengthen belief is acting as if. This means behaving, thinking, and feeling as though what you desire has already happened. Not because you are pretending, but because you are aligning yourself with the reality you want to create. If you desire wealth, do not speak as if you are struggling. Do not say, "I can't afford this." Instead, say, "Money flows to me easily." Even if your bank account is empty, shift your mindset. Feel abundance before it arrives. If you desire love, do not dwell in loneliness. Do not say, "No one ever chooses me." Instead, affirm, "I am surrounded by love in all forms." Your subconscious mind does not argue. It only obeys. But words alone are not enough. You must feel it. Emotion is the fuel behind belief. When you combine thought, word, and emotion together, you create an unstoppable force. This is why rituals, prayers, and affirmations work for those who truly believe. It is not the ritual itself, it is the certainty behind it. When you infuse a belief with emotion, it becomes magnetic. It draws your vision closer to you, and the universe responds. But what about doubt? What happens when fear creeps in? Doubt is what destroys manifestations before they arrive. It is like planting a seed and then digging it up every day to check if it's growing. The most powerful way to overcome doubt is to stop looking for proof in the external world and find it within yourself. When a mother is pregnant, she does not wake up every day questioning whether she is creating life. She knows. Even though she cannot see the child growing inside her, she does not need constant reassurance. She simply trusts in the process. This is the level of faith you must cultivate, the knowing that what you desire is already in motion, even if you cannot see it yet. And this is not blind faith. It is the deepest truth of reality. You are always creating. Your beliefs are shaping your future in every moment. And if you choose to believe in possibilities, in expansion, in miracles, you will see them manifest before your eyes. But you have to make a decision first. What are you going to believe? Will you have faith in your own strength or in fear? Are you going to believe in ease or in struggle? Will you believe in something bigger or in what the world has told you is possible? Because the universe will start to adjust to fit your new reality the instant you choose to believe in it. Chapter 4. The Forbidden Teachings of Jesus, Buddha and the Gnostics. For centuries, the world's most powerful teachings have been hidden in plain sight. The words of Jesus, Buddha, and the ancient Gnostics contain secrets so profound that, if fully understood, they could shatter the illusion of limitation that keeps humanity asleep. But these teachings have been altered, diluted, and in some cases, deliberately removed from history. Why? Because they reveal a truth that threatens every system built on control. The divine is not separate from you. You are not weak, powerless, or dependent on an external force. The power of creation is within you. But to see it, you must look beyond what has been taught in religious institutions, beyond what has been written in altered scriptures, beyond the narratives designed to keep you blind. You must see what was hidden between the lines, the forbidden wisdom of the masters. One of the most powerful yet least discussed statements of Jesus appears in the Gospel of John. Is it not written in your law, I have said, you are gods? This is not metaphorical. This is a declaration of truth. Jesus did not come to establish a religion. He did not come to demand worship. He came to reveal a forgotten truth that every human being carries within them the divine spark, the ability to shape their own reality, and the power to create as God creates. But those in power feared this knowledge. If people understood that they did not need a church to connect to the divine, if they realized that heaven was not a place but a state of consciousness, then the systems of control would collapse, and so over time this message was buried. The early Gnostics, the mystical followers of Jesus, understood this deeper wisdom. They did not see him as a savior who would take on their sins, but as a teacher who showed the way to self-realization. In the Gospel of Thomas, one of the texts removed from the official Bible, Jesus says, "The kingdom of God is inside you and all around you. Split a piece of wood, and I am there. Lift a stone, and you will find me." This means that divinity is not in temples. It is not locked away in books. It is within everything, including you. The Gnostics taught that the material world is an illusion, a construct designed to keep souls trapped in forgetfulness. They believed that the true path was not obedience to dogma, but the awakening to the realization that you are already divine. This idea is not unique to Christianity. The Buddha taught the same thing, in different words. He never claimed to be a god. He never told his followers to worship him. Instead, he said, "Be a light unto yourself." He spoke of the illusion of separation, the belief that we are disconnected from the universe, from one another, and from the divine. This illusion, called Maya in Hinduism and Buddhism, is what traps people in cycles of suffering. But suffering is not caused by fate. It is caused by ignorance, by not seeing reality for what it truly is. Buddha's greatest teaching was simple. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. This is the same truth that Jesus taught in different words. It is the same truth the Gnostics preserved in secret texts. It is the same truth hidden in the esoteric traditions of every ancient civilization. And yet, most people still believe they are powerless. Why? For centuries, institutions have taught people to look outside themselves for answers, to seek salvation in religious leaders, to ask permission from systems of authority, to obey rather than awaken. But the masters did not teach obedience. They taught sovereignty. They taught that faith is not about worship, it is about knowing. Jesus did not say, "If you follow me, I will save you." He said, "Your faith has made you well." Buddha did not say, "Believe in me." He said, "Believe in yourself." The power has always been within you. It was only ever hidden so that you would not discover it. Imagine what would happen if you fully embraced this truth. Imagine if you stopped looking outside yourself for salvation and instead realized that you are already connected to the divine, that you are a creator, shaping your own reality with every thought, every belief, every vibration. This is why these teachings were forbidden, because a world of awakened individuals is a world that cannot be controlled. The Gospel of Philip, another lost text, reveals something even more radical. Ignorance is the mother of all evil. If people knew the truth would set them free. This is not just about religion, it is about how you live your life every single day. If you are waiting for someone to give you permission to be powerful, you will never be powerful. If you are waiting for an external force to change your life, you will never realize that you are the one shaping it. The Buddha said, "No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path." And so the question is, are you ready to walk it? The first step is to stop seeing yourself as separate from the divine. The second step is to stop waiting for someone to give you permission to create. The third step is to embody the knowledge that you are already everything you seek. The moment you stop searching outside yourself and begin looking within, everything changes. Jesus said, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move." Buddha said, "With our thoughts we make the world." The message is the same. You are more powerful than you have been led to believe. And now that you know this, the only question left is, what will you do with it? Chapter 5. The Secret of Alchemists and Mystics. For centuries, alchemists were portrayed as eccentric men locked away in candlelit rooms, endlessly experimenting with strange metals, trying to turn lead into gold. This image, however, is a distortion, a deliberate misrepresentation of one of the greatest secrets ever guarded by humanity. True alchemy was never about the transformation of metal. It was about the transformation of the mind, the soul, and ultimately, reality itself. The alchemists of old were not simply scientists, they were mystics. They understood something that modern physics is only beginning to grasp, that the universe is a field of pure energy, pure possibility, and pure transformation. The real secret of alchemy is this: everything in existence can be transmuted, including yourself. The phrase, "turning lead into gold," was never meant to be taken literally. Lead is symbolic of an unawakened consciousness, weighed down by fear, doubt, and limitation. Gold represents enlightenment, power, and mastery. The alchemist's true task is to turn the lead of the ordinary self into the gold of the awakened mind. The ancient Egyptian Hermetic tradition, from which much of Western alchemy emerged, states, "As above, so below, as within, so without." This is not just a poetic phrase, it is a fundamental key to reality. It means that your inner world and the outer world are not separate. Change one, and the other must follow. Most people live their lives trapped in the illusion that external circumstances control them. They react to the world as if it is fixed, as if they are powerless to alter it. But the alchemist knows better. The alchemist understands that by shifting their internal state, they shift the reality around them. Every great mystic, every powerful thinker in history has known this truth. Leonardo da Vinci, Isaac Newton, Nikola Tesla. These men were not just scientists, they were initiates into the deeper mysteries of existence. Newton, the so-called father of physics, devoted more of his life to studying alchemy than he did to mathematics and science. Why? Because he understood that the mind is the true laboratory and belief is the philosopher's stone. But if this knowledge is so powerful, why has it been hidden? Because a world where people understand their ability to transmute their own reality is a world where external control is impossible. If people knew they could turn fear into power, ignorance into wisdom, and limitation into mastery, they would never allow themselves to be ruled by anything outside of themselves. And this is why the deeper truths of alchemy were encoded in symbols, disguised in metaphors, and passed down in secret to those who were ready to receive them. The Emerald Tablet, an ancient Hermetic text that has influenced mystics for centuries, reveals a cryptic formula for transformation. It speaks of a process called solve et coagula, which means to dissolve and then reform. This is what real transformation is all about. The conditioned self, the trained mind, and the layers of fear and doubt that have been placed on you must all be dismantled first. The disintegration is this: it is necessary to burn away the old self. Then you rebuild from the ashes. With more awareness, clarity, and intention, you rebuild who you are. This is the regeneration of the real self, the reformation. It's not a simple process. Alchemy was deemed harmful for this reason. It calls for the death of the ego, the dismantling of illusions and the giving up of all you believe to be true. However, the rewards are incomprehensible for those who dare to follow this path. Just picture what it would be like to be free of fear. What if you could turn every difficulty, barrier, and disappointment into motivation for your own growth? What if you could change the constraints in your mind to the conviction that you are in charge of your own fate? This is what true alchemy offers, but it is not a passive process. It requires action. It requires intention. It requires the courage to look within and ask, what must I dissolve in myself to create something greater? What beliefs must be burned away? What old patterns must be abandoned? Because reality is a mirror. It does not give you what you want. It gives you what you are. If you wish to attract wealth but internally feel like you are undeserving, you will always struggle. If you desire love but vibrate with fear of rejection, you will always experience disappointment. If you dream of freedom but carry the mindset of limitation, freedom will remain out of reach. The key is to transmute yourself first, and the world around you will change as a result. This is why the highest form of alchemy is not performed in laboratories, but in the mind, heart, and soul. The Hermeticists taught that there are 7 stages of inner alchemy, 7 steps to complete transformation. The first stage is calcination, the burning away of the false self, the destruction of limiting beliefs. The second is dissolution, breaking down the old identity, allowing the ego to dissolve. The third is separation, distinguishing the true self from the conditioned mind. The fourth is conjunction, integrating higher wisdom into the being. The fifth is fermentation, the spark of new consciousness, the birth of higher awareness. The sixth is distillation, refining the self, mastering the energy of creation. The final stage is coagulation, the rebirth of the self as an awakened creator. This is the path of the alchemist, the journey from darkness to light, from limitation to expansion, from the unconscious to the fully realized self. And here is the most important truth. You are already an alchemist. Every time you take a negative experience and extract wisdom from it, you are performing alchemy. Every time you shift a limiting belief into an empowering one, you are performing alchemy. Every time you transform pain into strength, doubt into faith, or fear into love, you are performing alchemy. The difference between an unconscious person and an awakened alchemist is awareness and intention. The unconscious person reacts to life. They believe they are at the mercy of circumstances. They see their struggles as random misfortunes. The alchemist knows better. The alchemist understands that every challenge is an opportunity for transformation. Every hardship is raw material to be transmuted into something greater. And so I ask you, what in your life is waiting to be transformed? What lead are you still holding on to, believing it to be fixed, when in truth it is waiting to be turned into gold? Because the moment you realize that nothing is permanent, that everything is energy waiting to be shaped, you will understand the greatest secret of all. There is no limitation, only transformation. Chapter 6. Unlocking the Forbidden Code. Practical Techniques. Knowing that you possess a hidden power is one thing. Using it is a different matter. You now understand that your thoughts, beliefs, and energies create the world around you, and that reality is not set in stone. You have discovered that this fact was recognized and protected for millennia by the greatest thinkers in history, including mystics, alchemists, and spiritual instructors. However, knowledge is insufficient on its own. It needs to be used. Whether this information remains a fascinating concept or turns into the secret to a life of boundless possibilities depends on how you use it. Realizing that you are currently creating your reality, every single instant of every day is the first and most crucial step. Whether you are manifesting consciously or unconsciously is the question, not whether you are manifesting at all. The majority of people are caught in unconscious creative cycles. They wonder why nothing changes. As they relive the same feelings, ideas, and habits, they turn their beliefs and words against themselves, promoting restriction rather than growth. But once you begin conscious creation, everything shifts. You are no longer a passenger in your own life. You become the architect. The way to do this is through deliberate reprogramming. Your subconscious mind is the operating system running your reality. If your programming tells you that success is difficult, that money is scarce, that love is painful, then no matter how much you consciously desire a different life, you will remain stuck in the same patterns. So the first technique is rewiring the subconscious through words and repetition. This is why affirmations, mantras, and declarations have been used for thousands of years in spiritual traditions. Words are not just sounds, they are commands. When spoken repeatedly with conviction and emotion, they begin to reshape the subconscious programming. But the key is feeling. Saying I am successful without feeling it does nothing. But when you declare I am powerful, I am limitless, I am creating the life I desire, and feel it as if it were already true, you begin shifting reality itself. The second method is using visualization to change your frequency, not only as a mental workout. Prior to assuming a physical form, everything is energy. You can start bringing your vibration into line with the reality you want by closing your eyes and visualizing, hearing and experiencing what you want. The distinction between reality and imagination is not discernible by your brain. When you clearly picture an experience, your brain activates the same neuronal pathways as if you were actually experiencing it, according to research by neuroscientists. This is why the world's most successful athletes, performers, and entrepreneurs use visualization religiously. They see themselves winning before they ever set foot in the arena. They create the reality internally before it manifests externally. And you must do the same. Each morning, before you start your day, take 5 minutes to imagine the life you desire. Feel the emotions as if you are already living it. This is not daydreaming. This is a magnetic signal being sent into the field of reality. The third technique is embodiment, acting as if your desired reality is already true. Most people wait until they have something before they feel worthy of it. They wait until they have money before they feel wealthy, wait until they find love before they feel loved, and wait until success comes before they feel successful. But this is backward. Reality does not work that way. You must become the frequency of what you desire before it arrives. If you want to attract wealth, start carrying yourself like a person who is already abundant. If you want love, embody the energy of love in every interaction. If you want success, think, speak, and act as if it is already yours. This is what separates those who manifest their dreams from those who stay stuck. They step into the identity of who they wish to become before the physical evidence appears. The fourth technique is removing resistance and doubt. Every time you set an intention, two things are created: the vision of what you want and the barriers that stand between you and it. Most of these barriers exist internally: fear, doubt, self-sabotage. This is where most people get stuck. They focus on what they want, but then allow their doubts to dominate their energy. If you say, I am wealthy, but internally feel lack, your energy is sending mixed signals. This is why the fastest way to manifest is not just to focus on your desire, but to eliminate the internal contradictions. One of the most powerful ways to do this is by letting go. The paradox of creation is that the more desperately you chase something, the more you push it away. But when you step into certainty, when you no longer need it to happen but trust that it is already in motion, things align effortlessly. This is what spiritual masters mean when they speak of surrender. Not giving up, but releasing attachment to how things happen, holding the vision, taking aligned action, and then allowing the universe to orchestrate the details. The fifth technique is energy alignment through sound and frequency. We now know that the universe operates on frequencies. The right sounds, the right vibrations, can shift your state instantly. For thousands of years, mystics have used mantras, chants, and sacred sounds to alter consciousness and elevate their vibration. Now modern science is proving what the ancients already knew. Specific frequencies can rewire the mind and body. Listening to 528 Hz, the miracle tone, has been shown to repair DNA and promote transformation. 432 Hz, often called the universal frequency, brings balance and harmony. 639 Hz is linked to love and healing. Incorporate these into your daily practice. Play them while you meditate, while you sleep, while you visualize. Surround yourself with vibrations that align with the reality you want to create. The final and most powerful technique is radical presence. The only place where reality can be shaped is now. Most people spend their lives trapped in two illusions, regretting the past or worrying about the future. But the present moment is the only point of power. Right now, in this moment, you have the ability to shift your thoughts, to choose a new frequency, to declare a new reality. The more present you become, the more powerful you are. This is why ancient masters, from Buddhist monks to Sufi mystics, emphasized presence above all else. Because when you are fully here, fully aware, fully conscious, your creative power is limitless. Now that you know these techniques, the only thing left is to use them. This is the turning point. You can hear these words, understand them, and move on unchanged. Or you can apply them right now. The choice is yours. You have always had the power. Now what will you do with it? Conclusion. You are the creator. There is a moment in every great story when the hero realizes that the power they were searching for was within them all along. This is that moment for you. You have traveled through the hidden teachings of the mystics, the wisdom of the ancient masters, and the lost knowledge of alchemists and sages. You have seen how reality is not fixed, but fluid, how it responds to thought, belief, vibration, and intention. And now, you stand at the threshold of a new understanding. You are the creator of your own reality. The power to shape your life has never been outside of you. It was never in the hands of fate, luck, or forces beyond your control. It was always within your mind, your heart, your energy. The greatest illusion ever created was the belief that you are small, that you are powerless, that you are just one person in a vast universe, at the mercy of forces beyond your control. But this illusion is collapsing. The truth is, you have always been the architect of your life. Whether you realized it or not, you have been manifesting every step of your journey. The thoughts you have repeated, the beliefs you have held, the emotions you have nurtured. These have been the paintbrushes with which you have painted your reality. And now, you know the secret. The question is, what will you do with it? Will you return to the old patterns, the old limitations, the old ways of thinking? Or will you step into the role you were always meant to play, the creator of your own life, the master of your own reality? From this moment forward, everything changes. You no longer wait for things to happen. You make them happen. You no longer ask for permission to be powerful. You claim your power. You no longer look outside yourself for answers. You look within. You are not separate from the universe. You are not a passive observer. You are an active force, a spark of creation itself. And now that you know this, you can never be the same. But knowledge alone is not enough. The key to transformation is action. Everything you have learned in this book will remain just words unless you use it. So here is your challenge. Starting today, choose one technique, just one, and apply it immediately. Speak with intention. Visualize with certainty. Raise your vibration. Act as if your reality has already shifted. And most importantly, believe. Belief is the doorway through which all transformation flows. You are standing on the edge of something extraordinary. A life where you are no longer bound by fear. A life where you create with purpose. A life where you finally remember who you really are. And when you step forward, when you begin to live this truth, not just know it, but embody it, something incredible will happen. Reality will respond. It always has. It always will. The only difference now is that you are finally aware of it. You have always been the creator. Now, create something extraordinary.